what's up, guys? It's Confessions of a Doctorholic with Hafsa Slayman. And there are two things in life I don't reckon I'm ever going to understand. Coffee and tea. But George is determined to get me hooked onto tea. So have a listen to how that went. All right, George, since you're the tea guru, I've got a couple of questions for you. Are you ready?
Fire away.
How do you like your tea?
Black? No. Actually, like, you know how like people use that term for coffee? Like, how do you take your coffee black? Because that is how I take my coffee, but it's not the same with tea because there's black tea, but there's also like green tea and white tea and
So you like your tea...
and rooibos.
Oh, is that how you pronounce it? I was literally looking at the word and I was like, ulululong.
Oh, yo, there's actually one that I can't. I don't know if I'm saying it right or not. I don't think I am, but it's P-U-U-E-R-H, like pure. But like some people say pure tea, like P-U-R-E. That's how they pronounce it sometimes.
Pure tea.
It's not pure. It's like
ulululong.
What's wrong with you? Alright, oolong tea.
Whatever. I struggle to pronounce it, so that's all I could do. Okay, what's your go-to tea in any situation? If you're
You can't
stressed.
just say any situation.
Okay, if you're stressed.
Because then there's different teas for different moods.
Oh.
Tea's like a mood, you know? Like you have a coffee in the morning to wake up. And I've been trying to cut down on my like coffee caffeine intake. Because I need caffeine throughout the day.
By the way, guys, so I know all of you know that I do not drink coffee. I also did not drink tea. I love trying new things for my birthday every single year. So for my 23rd birthday, I tried milk tea. Absolutely hated it. I can show you guys a video. I looked absolutely mortified. George, however, has tried this task of introducing me to different foods, and so far it's been working. He's been trying different teas on me. Anyway, we're gonna go back to these questions that I want to ask you. How far have you traveled to drink tea?
See, now you're just embarrassing me because like the real people go to like Japan and China and Sri Lanka. They get that real Ceylon tea. They get the real oolong, like the pure. I'm gonna keep saying it wrong, honestly. And you're gonna keep saying that wrong. I don't know how to pronounce it, but you know how to pronounce yours, so you to each their own.
Okay, like if you rolled out of bed and realized that you didn't have tea, how far have you traveled for tea?
Oh, like, yo, I have so much tea at home. I think my mom's trying to kick me out of like the house. She's
So-
like, if I see one more packet of tea or whatnot, you're out. Like, you're done.
That's
I'm
intense.
cutting you off.
That's intense. So, thrown out of your house for owning tea. So, the answer to that question is a romantic walk to the cabinets.
Yeah, more like a very
Stroll.
dead walk. No, it's just like
Romantic stroll.
like, you know when you're squinting your eyes because you just got up? It's very slow, sloth-like. I feel sloth-like in the morning for sure.
Did you ever crawl for tea?
No, does anyone crawl in the morning? Did I crawl down the stairs?
To be honest, sometimes I fall out of my bed because I tend to, like, if it's too warm in my room, I kick my sheets off and then I end up tangled in my sheets. And then...
Oh, you're one of those.
And then I end
Those
up,
people that just
like...
keep turning and turning and turning. Yeah, I think I don't move at
I'm a
night.
spaz.
I think I'm literally a mummy.
Spaz and proud.
True to my culture.
Oh, what?
I don't cross my arms, but it's just like if I sleep on half of the bed, so I make my bed every morning. If I sleep on half of the bed and I get under the covers, the other half of the covers are like not disturbed.
I like sleeping on my tummy and I roll and I sleep talk as well. So if anyone thought I spoke too much, by the way, I sleep talk
It's
too.
literally 24 hours. It doesn't stop.
Okay, what present would you appreciate as a tea lover? Like if someone wanted to give you a tea related present.
Year's worth supply of tea.
Oh, so you want a coupon? That's smart.
No, like I want you to get me a tea that you think I would enjoy, and then I'll try it.
Oh, that's kind of cute.
Yeah, because I like these gifts that come from people, and they're like, oh, like we think you'd like this, like you.
What if
You
it
kind of
won't?
match it to what you think is my personality or what you think I'd like the flavor profile. Which I think is huge because there's like,
Okay, and my last question for you before you actually tell me about tea. If we created a tea or discovered one, like basically you discovered one,
yeah,
what would you name it?
Adji Kulini.
So just your Instagram?
I'm a big fan of like pure teas. So it's a very acquired taste in my, like it's an acquired way of preparing the tea leaves, I guess. There's this one I love from David's Tea. Not sponsored, but feel free to sponsor me, please. This tea shop in Canada, and they sell all of these loose leaf teas and whatnot. It's a coffee pure because I really like the flavors of coffee, but I also like tea. And it has like sustained caffeine burst than like the coffee like up and down crash or whatnot. So I'd go for a pure tea, but I don't know which flavors I'd incorporate.
Okay, so but what would you call it? Like I don't
Do you
know
know
what
how tea
incorporate.
works, Hafsa?
No, I don't. But
How do you
like,
discover tea?
you know what? We're gonna call it George the Mummy. Oh no, Mum tea. Me.
Which means my mom in Arabic, mom tea.
Oh, true. Fun fact. All right, so how did this whole tea thing begin? Like, when did you discover that you loved tea?
I think growing up is a big part of like the Middle Eastern culture. Like drinking like a regular Lipton, also not sponsored. A Lipton or like a Tetley tea, like a black tea with like some milk on top, or even not, but it's just like a post-dinner kind of thing. I'd see like someone at home or like a relative or whatever drinking it. And then I think like after high school, I started exploring different types of teas. Like I'd already been drinking green tea for some time. And then I discovered like, oh, like there's white teas, there's oolong, there's like the pure tea, there's rooibos, which is like a pseudo tea.
So where do all of these teas come from?
True tea, I guess, comes from like the Camellia sinensis plant. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I can spell it. It's like Camellia and then sinensis.
Like Camellia Cabello? Oh, it's like Camellia Cabello. Okay, just never mind.
Yeah, not the same spelling, but
Okay.
it's not her. Camellia sinensis plant, and it's basically each type of tea, like white, green, it just refers to the way that the tea is processed or not and how it's prepared. So if it's like rolled and left out to dry, or if it's more finely processed or relatively unprocessed like a white tea. Yeah, and like pure teas are like oxidized, which is like exposed to air, or fermented, and they have like history behind them. But I think different locations in the world have different preparations, and that's what I like.
So which tea is processed the most?
Black teas.
And does that mean, you know how they say you want to avoid processed foods because that's not healthy for you? Is it also applicable to teas?
I'm gonna rewind because we can define processing differently, but it's just black teas are definitely more heavily processed than the rest, but pure teas also go through like a different type of processing where they're left out to kind of mature and their flavor develops over time, kind of like different alcohols, whatever. So like their flavor only gets more intense with the amount of time they're left out. So I guess that's maybe a processing. I don't know all the terminology, simple man. I just know what I know, but back to your question.
So is black tea unhealthy because it's heavily processed?
I think it depends on your health. Sometimes tea contains substances like oxalate and they can end up forming stones in the bladder or the kidney. So like you have to watch your tea consumption or stuff like that. Or if sometimes like tea has tannins in it as well, which can inhibit iron absorption in the gut from what I've read. Fact check me. But tea also has other benefits, but in terms of black tea, I think the processing is where does it come from, right? Like some Chinese tea, sometimes they contain more lead from the soil, or some places they spray insecticides over their tea or even over the tea bags. You've actually just sprayed.
Bags.
Oh no, not this. Yeah, Hafsa, along with the rest of the cohort, like to pick on me. Where I say the word bag, B-A-G. Say it, bag.
Bag.
Anyways.
He's begging for money, apparently.
Yeah.
Okay, back to tea. Tea bags.
Yeah, so like they might spray insecticides over the tea bags or over like the tea leaves themselves. So I think in terms of health, it's that whole really from being where it's grown to you consuming it. What steps happen in between, where it comes from.
What are the health benefits of tea? So I know that you're aware of the fact that I struggle with my sleep. I'm just not a good sleeper. So I've been recommended chamomile tea. And then I also heard ginger tea is like good if you have a cold.
Oh yeah, definitely for like my man flus.
We're talking man flus.
Like, you know, whenever I feel like I'm about to get sick, I just have a little bit of honey, ginger, and lemon, like freshly grated ginger, and slice it with like a slice of lemon, some hot water. And I think it's interesting that you called like chamomile tea or like this thing as a ginger tea, because they don't actually have the Camellia sinensis, which means that they're not traditionally supposed to be called teas, but we call them teas. And then I think teas are used colloquially as a sort of preparation of something in like hot water or whatnot.
Is bubble tea considered a tea?
No. And I stand no.
But it's got
I know
bubbles.
you can get like black
Bubbles.
teas or like other types of tea
And put it
inside your bubble tea, I guess. So I guess it contains tea, but
It's not a tea.
no. Put
Final
down for that
question.
one.
Is there any tea for having a good time, if you know what I mean? No, I mean, I don't know. Like, say you want to chill with your friends and say, I want to be cool and grab a tea. Is there any tea for having a good time? Good time.
Yeah, you're really getting me with all these spontaneous questions. Like, they're great questions. I think...
It's just a yes or no question. It's
Sure.
not that hard.
Let's go with yes, because I love tea. I feel like you can enjoy tea in any situation. You can make like an iced tea, unless it's snowing outside.
Okay. And
Make
if
a
there's
hot tea.
one tea that you recommend everyone to try, which one would it be?
Oh, that's so tough because everyone's flavor profile is different. But I'm gonna go with that coffee pure I mentioned earlier. I love coffee. I love tea. It's a fermented black tea or
I
a
guess.
rooibos. I think if you're new to getting into tea, rooibos tea.
That's the one you gave me the other day, right?
Yeah, like rooibos, it has like naturally occurring electrolytes. Like I know lots of people use it for hangovers, so it has like electrolytes It's naturally sweet, so it contains less of that bitterness that comes with tea, I guess.
And that's what I really liked about it, because I don't enjoy the bitterness. So it was really nice having like a flavoursome, like fruity flavoured tea. Guys, definitely send me a message if you felt that any of these teas have given you some health benefits, or if you strongly believe in tea. Definitely text me or text George and we can talk about this.
Or even if you strongly are against tea, feel some way about tea, you know, if you enjoy tea with like a certain meal or on the side, or flavor profiles of tea you think might be interesting, hit us up.
Shots of tea for good time, since George really did not know how to answer that question.